Hello everyone, I'm Marina in Nails Sakramel School. Have you noticed that more clients started to gravitate towards natural nails and non-toxic coatings, like dip powders and nail wraps? Let's find out what makes them so popular. Coming up. Here are today's nails. They are completely natural and have thin cuticles. So I'm going to do a manicure with a nail file and use nail wraps on these nails. First, I need to reshape them. This is not the file that I will be using to manicure them. It's a standard file for natural nails, 240 grit. Before we can polish the cuticle with a nail file, we need to push it back with an orange wood stick to separate it from the nail. To remove it completely, make sure that the stick glides under the cuticle smoothly. When it's pushed back, it's way easier to remove it. This rule is universal for every manicure technique out there. We're going to need a soft nail file to do a manicure. I'm going to use this soft 240 grit nail file and this super soft nail buffer. We could use a base made of plastic or metal. Now, we need to leave a 5mm gap when sticking the refill on it, to have a soft edge that will be removing the cuticle. We can stick the nail buffer right away or do it later, after cutting the cuticle to polish it. I assembled it right away. First up, I need to polish the cuticle zone with a buffer to remove the pterygium. To push the cuticle back, so that it's easier to remove it. This technique is considered to be less traumatic, but in case you don't know how to implement it properly, you can overfile the skin or injure it badly, which does not make it safe. That's why you should ask your client how they feel. I'm polishing the lateral folds moving up and down. Then I'm kind of sealing the skin going downward, watching the skin pattern. Do you like manicure and nail extensions? If you do, join my new online course on nail sculpting from zero to pro and get your certificate. The course is available worldwide. For more information, click the link in the description box below. After that, we can lift the cuticle. The nail file should be perpendicular to the nail. Don't point it at your client or their nail plate. Keep it at a 90-degree angle. Make diagonal moves with the central part of the file, going upward and lifting the cuticle like a skirt, just like we do it before an e-file manicure. I avoid making long moves so as not to damage the skin. I would rather call this cuticle oily than dry. It doesn't come off easily. So we can use talcum powder or some dehydrator to dry the cuticle. It will absorb excess moisture, making things easier for us. This manicure technique takes as much time as any other one, combined or e-file. Usually a lot depends on the type of skin and cuticle. When it comes to overgrown and badly cracked cuticles, it will take us more time to remove all the hangnails. Just like any other technique, this one should be practiced. You may find yourself struggling with this technique at first. It will be taking you a while, but once you get the hang of it, you will be able to work fast. Now, we need to hold the file as if it was a ballpoint pen. To remove the pterygium left inside the cuticle and clean the nail sinuses. This helps me to touch up the manicure to perfect it. Now I'm going to use a buffer to polish all the tiny hangnails. The skin becomes soft and smooth. There will be no hangnails. This process reminds me of using a silicone carbide polisher when doing an e-file manicure. Now I'm ready to move on to the next finger. In the meantime, let's discuss the perks of this technique. It's rather similar to the e-file manicure technique because we don't use cutting tools to remove the cuticle. We file it off instead. We can definitely say that it's gentle to the nails. Besides, the cuticle is not supposed to grow back too rapidly, even if we cut too much of it off. But let me underline it again that it's all about your skills. It is possible to badly damage the nails with a soft file. Don't forget about its abrasiveness. You should never use coarse nail files on thin cuticles or soft nail files on thick cuticles. Otherwise, you will risk damaging them with your file. More and more clients switch to this manicure type, and there are more nail techs who specialize in it. We also have a course in this manicure technique at our school in Moscow. Check it out to learn more about the nuances of it to master this manicure technique. I will leave a link to it in the description box. Now let's polish the nail surface and remove all the hangnails. It may not look perfect at first, but when we remove nail dust, we can see how cool it is. Can you tell that we did it with a nail file? The nail folds are so smooth and polished. And I was not using any cutting tools. I didn't even have them on my desk. Let me know what you think about the result. It's time to coat these nails. They are too short to be shaped into a squabble shape, so I will have to extend a couple of them. I apply a thin layer of base coat and send it into a lamp. Then I'm going to extend the corners using a jelly gel. It's a nude shade, so no one will notice it from underneath the nail. I stretch out the corner and fix it with a UV flashlight before curing it in the lamp. Let's touch it up with a file to define the nail shape. Let me know if you have tried this manicure technique out. How is it going for you? Do you have any questions? You can ask me anything. And don't forget to follow me on other social media if you're looking for more manicure content. Here come the nail wraps. It's one of the most popular types of coating at the moment, but there's nothing new about this particular technique. Nail wraps were a huge trend back in 2015. That was exactly when I purchased tons of them. I've been storing them in this album since 2015. The technique was quickly forgotten because it was not the easiest one. One had to heat those wraps up with a special tool first. Minx nails were the first to introduce nail wraps. Their wraps were metal-based, which made them rather hard. It was sometime later when soft nail wraps appeared. Nowadays, there is a huge variety of nail wraps of different types. There are even toe wraps that are wider than nail wraps. Don't mix nail wraps up with gel or lacquer nail stickers. Those are different, way harder and more rubbery. I know that lots of you enjoyed my video about gel nail stickers. Check it out if you missed it. What should we start with? First, we need to get rid of this protective film that surrounds the nail wraps. Otherwise, we won't be able to tell how big they are. So take care of it first. Remember that we can't measure the actual size of a nail wrap just by putting it on the nail. Natural nails are not flat. They are slightly curved. So we have to take that into consideration. To fit the nail wraps properly, we're going to need this. It's a flexible measuring tape that usually comes together with a set of nail wraps. Apply to the nail ingrows point. Now follow the nail curve and measure the length. Find a nail wrap of the right size. I recommend you use the one that's bigger than the nail. To make sure that it covers the side walls completely, pick the nail wrap by its tip with an orange wood stick, then curl it up in order to form some kind of a curve to fit the nail wrap right into the cuticle zone. There are lots of techniques for using nail wraps. We can use them on natural nails or put on top of a base coat. Since we want it to be safer, we're going to put the wraps on the natural nails. I put mine close to the cuticle and press it down well, starting with the free edge and moving to the side walls. In case your nail wrap is too big or wide or flat, you can easily trim it with slim scissors. Now we need to tuck it in with an orange wood stick. I'm using this silicone pusher that I got from a dollar store. I knew I would need it one day. The key aspect is to secure the nail wrap on the free edge. It shouldn't stick out. I'm folding it under the nail. Now I'm going to use a soft file to remove the excess wrap. Make downward moves to seal the free edge. Don't move it from side to side. Otherwise, you will ruin the free edge and the nail wrap may peel off. In case you don't like the way it looks on the nail, well, you can remove it and fix it or put it on another nail. But we can't do it over and over again because nail wraps lose their stickiness. You may ask me what we should do if the nail is wider than the wrap. Our first scenario presupposes using bigger nail wraps. Our second option is to use more than one wrap. We can layer them to get a cool abstract design. It will be a clever solution. There are no repeating patterns on these fingernails. Now let's secure the nail wraps. There is more than one way to do it. We can simply leave them like this for starters, especially if you do them yourself at home. We can also cover them up with a top coat, but we'd better cover them up with a base coat first. It will make the wrap thicker, protecting it and sealing the sides of the free edge, so it will last longer. Then we can cover it up with a top coat to get a glossy effect. I think this design looks vibrant and stylish. Agree? Let's sum it up. I believe that nowadays nail technicians have to ace different types of coatings to be able to grant any wish of their client. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications to stay tuned. Wishing you all beautiful nails. Good luck. Bye bye.